Hey gang, Adrian here from Groundhogg with another video. Today we're going to be talking about search filters and doing a deep dive into what I think is one of the greatest things about Groundhogg. So stick around to learn about how you can use search filters on your site in order to better segment your contacts and send hyper-targeted emails. Stick around. I think search filters are one of the coolest features in Groundhogg. They are incredibly important to all of the marketing that I do, all of the segmentation that we do. Because of that, we made sure our search filter system is as comprehensive as humanly possible. So we're going to take a deep dive today into search filters and show you all of the different ways that you can use them, where you can use them, and how to best leverage them so you can start sending better emails to people and start making more money. That's what we want to do. So the most obvious place that you're going to find search filters are on the contact list. You can get to your contact list just by going to Groundhogg and then contacts. I have a bunch of demo contact information up here. Don't actually email any of these people. They're not real. Above the list of contacts, you are going to see a filter contacts button. This is the default state for if you're just starting with Groundhogg. You might already have some saved searches in there, in which case this will actually change, but we'll also look at that. So find that filter contacts button and give that a click. Once you click that, you'll see a plus button. You'll see this toggle switch. I'm going to explain all that. You see a save search button over here and then a save search button as well. So let's say you want to segment your list by people that have a specific tag. Probably one of the most basic ways that you'd want to filter your list. We'd go ahead and we'd add a filter, and then we'd find the tags filter. You can type in tags to find tags. There's lots of other filters, and I'll go over a few of them. But let's go ahead and we'll find our tag filter. And I have a few tags on this site, and I have one of my tags is interest-based, so I have people tagged based on interest. One of those interests is reading. We have gardening, sports, music, cooking, bunch of different interests. So let's pick the reading interest. I go ahead and save that filter, and I see that on my list I have 1,010 people that have that tag, have the reading tag. We can add additional filters to our search. So let's say I want to filter by people who have 2 tags. I want to say they have the reading tag, and I also have some opportunity stages here, just as tags. I'm not going to get into the sales pipeline add-on, which would obviously we could use the deal stages there, but I'm just using tags for the sake of brevity. And I say I want people who have the reading interest and they are an active opportunity, so I'll choose the opportunity tag. And so right now I have my tag conditions set to any. I could also select all, so any being if they have either of these tags, show them. If I want them to have both of these tags, I have to select includes all of these tags. And I see that filters my search to 192 people, and I will see those people reflected here. On the right-hand side, next to that search, you're going to see Save This Search. Let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. If we go ahead and click Save Search, it's going to have a little pop-up where you can input a name. I'm just going to name this reading opportunity because those are the 2 tags that I selected. Let's go ahead and save that. And now you can manage this search from here. If we go ahead and we just go back to our entire contacts list, you'll now see that we have that filter contacts button as well as load saved search. If we go ahead and click that, we can see a list of all of our saved searches pop up. And then you can click on any one to load that saved search. And you can also edit the filters and then update the filters accordingly if the filters for any particular search change and you don't want to create a new one. So there's a little bit of manipulation you can do in there. You can also rename it by clicking on the name. Going back to our entire contact view, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into how to build more complex search queries so you can build hyper-targeted segments to use for broadcasts and funnels and all around just create a super hyper-targeted marketing campaign based on the data that you have in your list. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to re-add our tag filter, and we're going to say we want to include anybody that has the reading interest. We see that's 1,000 people. The next thing we can do is down here, we have this big, or this not big, but rather this or separator here. So we can add a filter here, and we can say we want people who are interested in music as a secondary condition to our search query. So now we're going to see everybody that has the tag of reading, or their tag includes music. And we can also see to the right of that, we have additional plus icons. So we can also add an and. This functions as an and. So we can say tag includes reading, and their opt-in status is confirmed. And then we can say tag includes music and their opt-in status is unconfirmed. Not the most useful example for creating a hyper-targeted segment, but it gives you an idea of how sophisticated you could get by using and or in this search query builder. And you can add as many or conditions and as many and conditions as you want. Underneath here, you can actually see it says show exclude filters as a toggle switch. So this gets into the next level of hyper-targeting. So we're including all those people, but let's say there's people in this list that we don't want. We have this list of 807 people. There's people that we do not want in this list. Let's go ahead and turn on the exclude filters, and that's going to change our UI a little bit. We're going to now see we have this include section and this exclude section. So now what we're saying is fetch all of these contacts, but exclude the subset of these contacts. So let's say we don't want anybody whose tags are qualified lead. So we get people whose interest is reading and their status is confirmed, people who are interested in music and their status is unconfirmed, but anybody who has the qualified lead tag, we do not want to send them an email or a broadcast or whatever. So let's go ahead and apply that. And you see that changes our total from 807 to 655 contacts. Given that these search filters also integrate with a bunch of different tools, you can start to get the idea of how incredibly powerful this tool is. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to refresh our contact list to clear all those filters. And let's talk about some of the filters that we have. We have some fairly basic filters, first name, last name, email address to check for maybe like formatting, or maybe you just want to send a bunch of people whose name is John, like you can do that. There's an email address filter here, which I actually find kind of useful to filter the list by Gmail, iCloud, Yahoo. You can do like email address ends with, there it is, at gmail.com. And apparently there's no one on this list. So let's just pick one here, sitemeter.com. We get 28 people whose domain or email address domain ends with that. So I find that useful to get people who have like free email addresses rather than business addresses. You can pair this with our lead scoring add-on, and so you can get pretty sophisticated with it. So that is our email address filter, opt-in status, the contact owner tags. You can filter by custom meta, contact ID, location, information that's in the user. So if you wanted to filter by everybody who has a user account on your WordPress site, you'd use the has user account. And then inside of that, you can also do user role. So let's say you just wanted to select all subscribers or all members. And then if they have a user account, you can also filter by user meta. So that's actually data that's not even in Groundhogg. That's in the user meta table. Groundhogg can actually access that information to filter your contact list as well. Incredibly powerful. We get into some really cool stuff, which is our activity filters. So activity is a way that Groundhogg tracks contacts' progress through your entire site and all of the things that they do, and all that gets stored in the activity table. Let's say we want to filter our list by everybody that logged into the site. or logged out of the site in a specific time period. So we could say logged in the last 60 days, and I want to send an email to these people. Conversely, you can send an email if you want to grab the excludes filter. You can say has not logged in. So exclude anybody that's logged in the last 60 days. And this is going to give you a list of people that haven't logged in. So these are people that might be at risk of canceling the service. If they're not logging in, they're more at risk of canceling their subscription. So you can use the exclude filters in order to fetch the list of those people. So you can send them an email or something. We also have custom activity. So in the funnel editor, if you have our advanced features add-on, you can add custom activity and you can do some sophisticated stuff with that. We can just say was active or was inactive. Activity being any activity registered by the contact record, whether they unsubscribed in a specific time period or confirmed their email address in a specific time period, if they clicked a link in an email or they opened an email. Same thing with funnels. You can filter by specific funnel history. So if I go ahead and open up the funnel filter, I can select a specific funnel, and then I can select a step within that funnel and say if they have completed that step within the last 90 days, let's go ahead and add them to our search query. Moving down. So I already showed you how to save a search. So you make the search and then you click that save the search button and it adds you to our saved search. So there's an additional filter here called Save Search. And what you can do is you can then combine searches. So if you have like a search that says active customers and a search that says agencies, and I'm using those as examples because I actually use those. I have an active customers list and an agencies list, and I want to get the union of that, or not the union rather, but the intersection of that. So I want all the customers, active customers that are also agencies. I would say Save Search in that, and then add an additional filter, because again, adjacent filters function as an and then that would give me the intersection of those people. So all the people that are in search A and all the people that are in search B. Custom fields. So any custom fields in your contact record. So let's go ahead and open up a contact record here, and we have survey, and I have a demographics field, and I just have a gender field. We could go ahead and add another field, and let's just call it business type. Give it a drop down, and let's say agency or small business to keep it simple. Create field, and let's save this person as an agency. Let's go back to our search filters. We can see that in our demographics, we now have that business type as a search field, and then I can select one of the two options that I made there. So, and I can filter by agency because that's what we saved. And we have one person who has this custom field because we only added it to that one person so far. And then when the search filters get incredibly powerful is when you actually start integrating with some of our third-party integrations that we offer, like WooCommerce, Easy Digital Downloads. I have GiveWP on this site, so I'm going to use them as an example. Easy Digital Downloads, Affiliate WP. There's like 30 or something integrations, of which many of them add search filters to the system that you could use to access data in those plugins to then filter your contact list. So for example, in GiveWP, I can say if they've recently donated to a specific form and their donation amount was over $100 in the last 365 days, I don't think that's going to actually pull anybody up, because I don't have any donations on the site because it's just a demo. But in the event that you are actually getting active donations, you would be able to perform this kind of filter on your contact list. So you could get a list of all of your highest donors and then say, hey, you donated X amount within the last year. Would you like to up your donation? We also have for GiveWP, you can filter by total donation value. So GiveWP tracks the total amount of donations, so the LTV, the lifetime, or I guess LDV, the lifetime donor value of a donor. And you'd be able to filter your list based on that to then grab a list of your most valued donors. And these are basically equivalented in WooCommerce integration as well as the EDD integration, where you can filter the list by if they recently purchased a specific product or a product in a specific category, whether they recently submitted so many orders or completed so many orders, whether they performed a certain number of orders within a specific amount of time. You can get very granular in order to, again, create complex queries that hyper-target specific people on your list so you can send hyper-targeted messaging. We also have an add-on. A few of our add-ons also add search filters. For example, our pipeline add-on, where we can say we want to filter by deal value, and we want to say their deal value is greater than $100 in any pipeline. And look, there's actually a contact here. It's mine. But that is another function of the search filters, is some of our add-ons also add search functionality. So again, you can filter your list and get very targeted results. So you can send broadcasts by using the broadcast tool and selecting an email. You can also add these people to a funnel or export them to send them somewhere. It's totally up to you. You can also save these searches so you can easily reference them for later. It's an incredibly, incredibly powerful system that is very unique to Groundhogg, because the SaaS platforms, the SaaS CRMs, do not have the same level of access to data in WooCommerce, in Affiliate WP, in Give WP, in LearnDash, in Lifter LMS, in any of these WordPress plugins. They don't have direct access to their databases and their tables. Unlike Groundhogg, because it's installed on the same site, Groundhogg can actually access all that information, compare it to the information that Groundhogg already knows to give you a complete data set of segmented contacts that you can use and leverage to make more money. So that is how our search filters work. Let's talk about how you can actually use search filters. I talked about a few things already, like you can filter your contact list and then go to the more actions, and you can send a broadcast or add to a funnel. There's a few other places where you can leverage search filters in order to create hyper-targeted messaging. So let's first off go to a funnel. Let's open up a funnel, and I am going to add a send email action. And let's just create a new email. So there we go. We are sending an email. Now, if you are using our conditional logic add-on, underneath all of the steps in your funnel, you will see a conditional logic with an on-off switch. I'm actually in front of the switch, so let me just move myself over. There you go. You see the on-off switch. If you toggle that on, I'll move myself back, and we scroll down, you will see that same search filter system. You see the include and the exclude. We can here add search filters like tags, and we can say reading. And so with this, now only contacts that are in this funnel that have the reading tag will get this email. And then up here, you can choose whether to just skip the step or stop the funnel altogether or skip to a different step in the funnel. There's another video that breaks down exactly how conditional logic works. But all of the filters that we had access to in the contact list, we also have access to here. That means WooCommerce information, pipeline information, Give WP information, LearnDash information. That's all also available in this conditional logic builder in the funnel. So you can then target specific emails to specific contacts, and not just emails, really any step. Even if we just had a timer in here, we'd be able to filter who would actually complete this timer. Maybe you want different timers based on specific tags. If someone got maybe like a 30-day tag, then they do the 30-day timer. If they got the 60-day tag, the 60-day timer. Totally up to you what you want to do there. What other? We have admin notifications. Let's say that you want an admin notification to go to 2 different people based on the question. So if someone were to answer a question type, actually, we have an example of that. Let me quickly build out an example from a contact us form. So we have a contact form here, and one of the questions is question type. We have general support and pre-sales, and here we have a follow-up email going to the customer, But this email only sends if the question type from the form was equal to pre-sales. That's using one of the custom fields that the form creates to send hyper-targeted messaging to people that submitted pre-sales. We don't want to send a pre-sales email to people who didn't identify that they were pre-sales. So this is one of the unique ways that you can leverage conditional logic and search filters within the funnel builder. Another cool place you can use search filters is in our custom reports dashboard. We have an entirely different video dedicated to showing you all of the features of our custom reports dashboard. So I'm just going to do a brief overview of how search filters are used here. So let's go ahead and we're going to add a new report. And I'm going to just say, oh, I want it to show me a number of contacts. Or a total number of contacts. There's other filters that you can choose from. Some of a custom field, average of a custom field. Again, we have an entire video dedicated to this. So I'm just gonna say, I wanna see the number of contacts. And again, we see that include and exclude section where we can add search filters. So let's go ahead and let's say, I wanna see a total number of people who are interested in reading. And let's go ahead and save that report. And we saw that number earlier, except now we can see this compared against a whole bunch of different numbers. So we can add a different report and we want to say everybody who's interested. Ooh, I wanted to add a tags filter and say sports. So now rather than having to refilter my main contact list to get a number of contacts, I can just come to the custom reports area and I can see all those numbers in one place. Again, leveraged based on the power of search filters. The last place I'm going to show you where you can use search filters today, even though there are more places, there's actually lots of places in Groundhogg where you can leverage search filters to get specific information, specific lists of contacts. But for the purpose of keeping this video shorter, this is the last one. So this is our new email editor live with Groundhogg 3.0. And when you go and click on a block and you click on the advanced section, you're going to see a conditional visibility tab here. Go ahead and expand that. Again, we see that word filters. If you go ahead and enable contact filters, you see that include and exclude. Here, as before, you can get all of the different filters, WooCommerce, LearnDash, Lifter LMS, Affiliate WP, all of the basic filters, all of the pipeline filters, all of the activity filters, all of the funnel filters, all of those you can access here to conditionally show specific blocks based on the contact that is receiving that email. This is incredibly powerful if you have different blocks, maybe for saying generating different coupon codes to send to the user based on their spend history. You would be able to go into here and say if their total customer value is less than 100, send this block. Incredibly powerful. It allows you to really get into the granular of sending hyper-specific and hyper-targeted messaging in your emails, in your funnels, in your broadcasts, wherever. So that's search filters. It's incredibly cool, incredibly powerful, and one of the things that makes Groundhogg truly special in the CRM space, it's truly unique in its ability to pull data from all these other plugins. It is something that SaaS CRM just can't do because they're not installed and don't have direct access to the same tables that Groundhogg does when it's installed on WordPress. So it's very cool. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you have any questions, drop those down below. Search filters is a free feature. If you want to just go test, if you're not a Groundhogg customer, we have it in our free plugin at the moment. You can go test it and play with it. It's incredibly powerful. Go check it out. If you want to test the WooCommerce or the LearnDash or Lifter LMS integrations, you can sign up for our $1 demo. Link to do that is in the description below. Thanks and have a great day.